All right, everyone. Thank you all for joining me today. It's your boy, CJ. Okay, so I want to talk about this video that I came across. Once in a while, I feel like I have to address these types of video because it's a stark reminder that all that is kinfolk is in kinfolk. And I want you to take a look at a very upsetting video of a Black American falsely accusing an African of stealing at a Walmart. I want you to take a look at this and we'll have a good conversation about this.
Sir? Hey, stealing. I think I wasn't gonna catch him. What are you doing, sir? Do you have your receipt?
Don't you see me with a receipt, sir?
I just want to make sure, man. You look like you were up to no good, and we don't play that in my store.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious, sir.
Can you take a look at my receipt?
Let me see this. Open the bag, please. Open the bag.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Okay, you check out, man. Listen, you look like you were up to no good, and we don't play that around here.
So you actually thought that I would come to steal here?
Yeah, man.
Why?
Why?
Huh?
Yes, I do.
Well, why did you think I was stealing?
Because you were walking around only for one item, man. You could have gone to the gas station for that.
No.
Why'd you have to come to Walmart?
No. You actually stopped me because of my color. Because you think I'm a black person, so I could probably be a thief.
I'm the same color, man. But I don't care.
Exactly.
You look
That's
like
why you should be ashamed of yourself.
yeah, but you look like you're up to no good, man. I know your kind. I've seen you around
So
before.
you think our people are up to no
It's not
good.
our people, man. It's your people. My people are here at Walmart.
So you make it worse. My people, Africans.
Yes.
I'm just like you, bro.
You're nothing like me. We're nothing alike, so don't even compare us.
Bro,
Hey, I checked your receipt. You're good. Now get out of here.
you should be very ashamed of
Before I
yourself.
call the cops, man.
You see,
Do you want problems?
You're the reason why.
Hey, you're gonna stop talking to me like that, okay? Take your receipt and get on out of here. Get on out of here.
It's sad.
You got to the count of three.
Everybody
One,
talking about you
two,
guys and us. Now
three.
you're showing it.
No, I don't care. You're gonna have to get
You
out of
don't
here.
care.
Sir, go. Sir, have a nice day.
You should be very ashamed of yourself.
This motherfucker come in our store stealing. We'll follow you out. Make sure you don't do nothing else, man.
Okay, so let's talk about that because there were a lot of things in that video that were very disturbing, and I want to address this. And it's a very shameful thing when you see one of your own, one who look like you in terms of skin color, do the things that those who don't look like us, who have a different skin color, do to us also. I mean, why have any enemies when you have friends like that? Huh? It's an amazing thing when you see that type of display. It's a thing that happens every day that is almost never talked about because we're all in this whole delusion of let's unite and preach unity. And that is good. See, I'm all about unity. I'm all about uniting. I'm all about making sure that our people are spoken for. But then the reality again is, then there are people within our same skin color who don't like themselves and they don't like Africans. I want to start off, before I go further, by saying that African brother, I was so impressed with the way he handled himself. I was so impressed with the way he conducted himself. The look on his face alone tells the whole story. Because anyone in his shoes would be dark shocked that another fellow black person is accusing a black person of stealing. You see, this is the type of thing that black people in this country have often been angry at when white people accuse them of that. This is the same thing that black people say, that when they go to the store, they get eyes on them. People are watching them. They accuse white folks of this. They accuse Indian store owners of this. They accuse Asian store owners of this. And it's a thing that they fight against in this country. That they're always stereotyped anytime they go anywhere by people who aren't like them. To now find a black person, do this to another black person, it's a shocking and bizarre thing. It's a shameful thing that it's a reality of what we live and are faced with in this country. You heard him say, I'm not like you. You're not my people. When the African brother says, we're the same skin color. So, we're not the same. We're not my people. My people are here at Walmart. This is what you're getting from those who call themselves Black Americans. Okay, so let me make sure I am clear. Let me make sure I am clear. I want you to understand that even while I am going to discuss some things here that might be very, very hard for some people to hear, let me be clear that our people who are African Americans are our people, and they will always be my people. You almost will not find these types of behavior from African Americans. See, I've always often said that African Americans are my people, because if you carry the name African American, what that says essentially is you identify with your African root. That whole thing is heavy in terms of it carries a lot of weight. When you are calling yourself, I'm talking about people who were born in this country now, right? People who were born in the United States, who identify as African American. These are the ones who are proud to connect with the African roots. They're proud to connect with other Africans from the continent. They are proud of it. Now, once in a while, they'll make fun, but ultimately, they don't have hate or maliciousness against their African brothers and sisters on the continent. So those ones are proudly my people, and I always speak for them. The ones that I don't call my people are the ones who go around calling themselves Black Americans, because that whole identity is shrouded in exactly what we saw in that video. Anti-African. Because why else would you call yourself a Black American if it's not to say that I am not from Africa? The delusion. If it's not to say I'm not one of these kinfolk, if it's not to try to appease or signal to your white master, hey, don't treat me like them Africans or them African Americans. We're not the same. I was born in this country. I am an American. I have no association with Black Africans. Those are the ones that I don't call my people. That is the example of what you saw in that video. And then this same person in that Walmart will go to a 7-Eleven and be outraged that an Indian did the exact same thing to him at the 7-Eleven. This same one will go on the streets and chant Black Lives Matter, right? This same one, when a white person at a gas station stereotypes him the same way he just did an African person, this same one will call the activists, the lawyers, the ones we've seen on TV, to come to their rescue and say, hey, I am being racially profiled. I'm being negatively profiled because of my skin color. These same ones will play that card real quickly when someone of another race does exactly the same thing to him or her. I think that brother should be ashamed of himself. I think anyone who thinks like that should be ashamed of himself. There are so many things he said in that clip that is so upsetting that I don't even want to repeat it, because they're exactly the same thing that they fight against in this country. To have a people who have fought or come from an ancestral background, right, of people who fought to be taken seriously, to be seen as human beings, to be treated equally, who rode on the backs of African American legends who pioneered civil rights, who fought for the freedom that every man and woman enjoys in the United States, no matter what their skin color is today. African American greats who stood against these types of prejudice, these types of stereotype, to have their descendant do this against their own. And you know what's funny about it is that when we talk about these things and call it out, you will find people that will come to my platform and say, you're preaching disunity, because these are the same people who will never want anyone to expose this. And they'll come up here and tell me that I'm preaching disunity when I speak and expose these types of things. See, I'm not about uniting with anyone who call themselves Black American. I'm not about doing that. I'm all about uniting with those who want to unite with the body. But those who are calling themselves Black Americans, right? Because that whole thing is shrouded, again, I said, is shrouded in anti-African rhetoric, anti-African behavior. You saw it in that video. I don't delude myself because I've lived long enough and I know there are people who have a hate in their spirit and it's not going to change, right? It's the exact same scenario where there are people in the Black American community who are hoping that skinheads, white supremacists, those who were part of the KKK would change. Imagine trying to change those ones. Imagine, just think about it for a second. Imagine trying to change someone from the KKK group to see you, who is a Black person, as an equal person with them. Good luck with that crusade. Good luck with that. And so I don't delude myself on that because it's a reality now that we have, that there are people within the Black American group or people within the Black group in the United States who have taken Africans, the fight to Africans, and are seen Africans as their enemy. You wouldn't find any one of these people. Ask them, what has an African person done to keep you in the perpetual poverty that you currently are in right now? Name me one thing. What policies has an African country done to you that's caused your demise in your country? Name me one. They wouldn't. But I bet you if you find an African and ask that same question, an African will tell you that these same people, if we want to go there, come from a country who exploit their country. These same ones, if you really want to go there, right, come from a country whose government and policies exploit Africa and they benefit from it. But we don't do that because we understand the struggles that African Americans and Black Americans, Black people in this country face is the same struggle that Black people in Africa face no matter what part of the world they're in. So we as Africans don't go into pointing that whole finger, even though we have the rights and we're more entitled to having that rights if we wanted to, but we don't. We embrace our brothers and sisters from this side of the world. But you find this rhetoric. These are the same ones who call themselves ADOS and so-called FBAs, who are fighting so hard to be recognized, and no one cares and no one recognizes them. You wouldn't find any politician, anyone, that will make reference to ADOS or FBA. You wouldn't find, not unless you want to lose your office and lose vote. You won't find any of them. They don't identify with the group. They don't care for the group. They know what that group stands for. If you find a Kamala Harris or any Democratic elected candidate talk about Black people in this country, they often refer to them as African Americans. You won't find any serious person stake their neck out to offend the Black community by using words like ADOS or FBA. What the hell is that? Right? So you have the pocket of those who have allowed themselves to be anti, and it's so sad. It really is. And I think it's also a good thing that we show these types of things out, because there are those of you who are from Africa who delude yourself that everyone who's skinful is skinful. There are many of you from Africa who are not aware of that type of prejudice from people that look like you, because you don't live here. And it's okay. It makes sense. It makes sense. What you're seeing on TV mostly is that African Americans or Black people in this country are persecuted. So you have this belief that every Black person is going through the same struggle. That you don't know these things. Unless you have lived in the West long enough and you lived in a place like the United States. And I have experienced this. I have experienced it countless times. I've had the most asinine, ignorant statements made to me by Black Americans. I've had the most upsetting questions asked of me by Black Americans. No one else asked me such prejudiced, racist, and disgusting questions as I've come to know from those who are from the Black American community. Do you understand this? So when I see that behavior, I know that that's a normal thing that happens on a day-to-day. But here's the reality of things. The reality of it is that other brother who works at Walmart, many who think like that is their level of economic class. The brother who he's harassing probably has a higher education and a higher income bracket than that other brother. That is the reality of things. That Africans who come to the United States really align themselves with greatness. They align themselves with success. They go in and get their businesses done. And the ones that think like that brother in that Walmart store, he's just going to work at Walmart. He's just going to be there. And I think that that's what really eats that community up. That really eats that community up, that they find us who come from other countries to the United States. And we're more successful, highly educated, and are able to live and own the American dream than a lot of them who are here. This doesn't go for every one of them. Not all of them think that way. But you find a number of very ignorant ones in the community who spit at the faces of people who paved the way for them. I can go on and on about the statistics of Black men in this country. I can go on and on. I can give you real statistics in the job market, the labor market, in the business market, in the educational market. I can tell you where Black men fit in this country, which is not a good place. I can tell you that Black women have out-earned Black men, and in about 5 years are going to double their salary of what Black men are making in this country. I can give you statistics based on articles, studies, and I can go on, which would help you understand why you find these types of outrage from these so-called ignorant Black Americans. Because rather than do something about their status, rather than do something about lifting themselves up, they result to attacking the one person and the one people who have not contributed to their demise. Why don't you go show your might to the white folks who are really causing your demise? Why don't you take it off to the other ones? They wouldn't. They would not. See, that's why you find the cowardice person. Why don't you take the fight to the person that's really causing your demise? Right? So anyway, so to my African brothers and to my African Americans, we are larger in numbers and we are united in this. The small groups of those who are all about division, they got no voice, even though they try to be the loudest in the room. They got no voice. Our stories, our bond, and our unity and commonality within each other is so strong and so intoxicating that once in a while we have to call these things out, but it does not divide who we are and what we represent. And I hope that we'll always continue to unite each other, those who want to be united. And those who don't, we call them out, shame them, and put them to the side. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time.
Nu vill jag kunna ge tillbaka allt jag inte kunna ge förut. Det finns ingen annan där som kan stå här by my side, oh why. Sättet du rör på det får mig att dö för dig baby. För de här yardis, de vill ju bara dra ner oss. Men du är fett och vanlig. Och det jag lägger är min tid. Jag vill ha dig. Du får mig känna safety. Jag kan nog leda baby. Och jag kommer aldrig ändra mig.